It's no secret that there is a shortage of housing in the Falklands. The demand for homes outweighs the supply, meaning house prices and rents are high. Last Assembly, it was an important issue for Assembly candidates.
And we need housing to be affordable, so I want to see the strategy taken forward with, all action and speed.
A difficult one. There isn't enough housing yet. We have to make plots available still. I mean, Bennett's Paddock is the right set, more loops on Sapper Hill, but we've got to control the prices. Getting too expensive, people cannot get at them now.
Housing, I think the fact that the government is making housing available for people to buy is wonderful. It gives people more ownership of where they live, and I will do everything in my power to make that continue and affordable.
But some streets in Stanley contain a number of houses that are clearly empty, too derelict to be occupied.
So why aren't more houses being removed and built upon? Part of the government's housing strategy, approved by EXCO last September, is to help provide an incentive to turn derelict homes into new livable houses to address the current housing shortage.
So it's a cross-departmental piece of work in terms of the strategy, but as far as PWD goes, progress has been fairly good because our work is fairly specific and is around the delivery of Bennett's Paddock, making sure that we provide a diversity of housing across local pool and contractor pool housing.
It's going steadily, I would say. There are useful developments happening all the time. For example, the Bennett's Paddock project and many other developments.
Some of the main aims of the housing strategy are as follows: to accelerate the construction of new government housing and incentivise the private sector to develop new homes to rent, to bring forward a dedicated scheme to promote affordable home ownership for those on lower incomes, to offer some older government properties for sale to existing tenants or to low-income buyers, as and when they become vacant, and to encourage the renovation of empty, partially complete or derelict properties and to bring them to the market. But of course, the main issue is that there are just not enough homes currently available to rent or own.
I believe there is still a bit of a shortage for housing. Resource is always an issue for us here in the Falklands, and it's limited, and therefore to bring resources in and people in to help deliver some of these major capital projects, we need somewhere to accommodate them. So it does remain a problem.
With the Bennett's Paddock development and also a concurrent building of houses at Mount Pleasant, that is probably about as large as it will get over the next 10 years, I imagine. But if we can keep that pace, then we'll be going, we'll be doing pretty well to meet the increasing need for housing.
One of the key issues for the private sector is also one of the housing strategy's main aims: the incentive and ability to develop affordable housing. While the government look to the private sector to help build and provide public housing, they have raised concerns that it can be challenging to gain access to available land and navigate government regulations. FIC, one of the largest builders of homes in the Falklands, were unavailable for comment on this issue.
FIG are not intending at this stage to develop another phase of housing infrastructure, and what we're looking to promote and encourage is some developer-led infrastructure development in terms of housing, and part of the conversation on Monday is how we facilitate that, what the current blockers or perceived issues are for the private sector to do that, and what we can do to remove those and make it a much simpler, more streamlined process.
Reducing unnecessary bureaucracy is always an aim, and again it's something that's committed to in the Islands plan, just trying to streamline all of that. We need people to come and engage with us early. So the planning and building team, they've always offered this service, this pre-application service, but we are specifically looking now to try and really promote it, to extend it, and to work with particularly house builders to develop a pre-application scheme for larger initiatives that serves their particular needs, which are different to an individual who will be building their own house.
Over a year on from its approval at EXCO, steady progress is being made on the housing strategy. But the issues between the public and private sector will need to be fixed to reduce the housing shortage going forward.